Now, Rita, also ASIO boss Mike Burgess said last week that they're ditching tags like Islamic terrorism and they're now going to call it religious terrorism or something. What do you make of this rubbish?
Yeah, I just don't know why. And it seemed to be again the suggestion that it was offensive to some in the Muslim community or would marginalise. I mean, anybody with a brain can differentiate between Islamist, extreme Islam, and someone who is just a Muslim who follows the Islamic religion. That extremism and those who are peaceful followers, I think, is a distinction everybody makes. So when you say an Islamist terrorist, I don't think anybody would presume that that means every Muslim is malign. So I think you just got to be clear. I think you've got to treat people like they're intelligent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the number one thing here is that you need to be able to, in that sort of circumstance, law enforcement or any other, call things as they are. And, they would have no trouble, quite rightly, calling, white supremacist terrorism, for example, and everybody would know that they did not mean that all whites were white supremacists and white supremacist terrorists. In the same way as Rita says, somebody who is a faithful and observant Muslim is not caught up in Islamic terrorism. And people know this. And it's a sop, I think, to an activist class that wants to muddy the waters and, brush aside a threat that is there, that is real, for reasons of political correctness.
Yeah, absolutely. Rita, just very quickly, hijabs in Indonesia.
Well, yes, they've just decided that they're not going to have mandatory hijabs at Islamic schools. This is after Christian girls were forced to wear the hijab to attend certain schools. I tell you, Indonesia, the world's most populous country, has got a freer policy than we do, because in our Islamic schools here in Australia, people do have to wear the hijab, not just the students, but the teachers in many of the schools. Even if they're not Muslim, they have to wear it to be able to work there. So maybe we should follow Indonesia's example for once.